Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios once again with another One Piece chapter summary. This week's chapter is chapter 1014, The Ham. The artwork for this week's chapter is Trafalgar Law thinking over a riddle that I'm going to guess is rooted in Japanese culture. It's not something I'm too familiar with, but it involves a tiger that is also in a painting, but simultaneously not. I guess he lives in the painting or something like that. But if anybody knows more details on this, I'll obviously check the Library of Ohara website after this. But I would love to hear a comment down below if you know what it means. Without further ado, let's pick up where we left off last time. So the chapter begins with Luffy falling from Onigashima and Kaido lamenting the loss of another opportune opponent, even going as far as saying that Luffy is not the next Joy Boy. I know we're all waiting on that Kaido flashback, but as more and more things start linking together, I don't know. I'm still enthralled with how we can have this giant battle going on and still have lore drops like this. What does Kaido know about Joy Boy? I mean, we've never even heard like Roger or Garp or during Odin's flashback Roger, I should say, but we've never heard anyone talk about Joy Boy the person. We've talked about Laugh Tale, we've talked about the promise to the Mermaid Princess, but we don't know anything about Joy Boy himself, and that's, well, it's starting to get a little concerning. We then cut to a very brief panel of Yamato just charging through Kaido's forces, obviously continuing closer and closer to the battle with dear old dad. I'm gonna guess to, stall for time, as we will hear a message from Kaido a little later in the chapter. I'll get to that. But after that panel, we cut to Momonosuke reading from his father's journal again. And as Momonosuke's reading it, he tells Shinobu, ooh, hey, it's actually really important that I don't die. And Shinobu goes, well, yeah, obviously, you're the son of Kozuki Oden, you're going to be the next shogun. And then poor little Momonosuke starts getting a huge headache. I'm not sure what from, but he's starting, it's obviously from the voice of all things, but the last time he had a reaction like this, Zunisha was calling out to him and Luffy. I'm not exactly sure what's calling out to him this time. It may have something to do with Luffy falling into the waters down below, or maybe Zunisha himself. I don't remember if Zunisha had if we know what kind of elephant, but Zunisha may be marching all the way over there. We know that Zunisha was given the command to attack and was originally given a command to walk, so who knows? Maybe the giant elephant's gonna come and join in. Literally anything could happen at this point in Wano. Cutting from there, we go back to Chopper's fight with Queen. And from the outside, it looks like Chopper's winning. We actually see a really cool suplex move where Chopper has Queen by the Brachiosaur neck and is just chucking him around, only to find in Chopper's inner monologue that this doesn't actually hurt Queen that much. In fact, Chopper is way more tired. We got arrows sticking out of his back from Perospero, who has caught up, defeated Carrot and Wanda, and is starting to just rain down on all of Kaido's men, or former men, I guess, since they decided to betray Queen after the Ice Demon incident. We know that Nekomamushi is looking for Perospero, which means hopefully he'll show up in time to get rid of that pesky menace. What's important to note here is that the Rumble Ball is no longer a 3-minute handicap. Chopper even mentions that he's still got 10 minutes left and has a brief flashback to a conversation with Caesar. Now, for all the terrible things Caesar's done, it's really hard to trust anything that he does, but he's still a man of science. And though he does tease Chopper about the Rumble Ball and how it only lasts 3 minutes and, Chopper's being a coward for not risking his pretty looks, or however he described it, But he told Chopper that together they could expand the Rumble Ball's duration to 30 minutes. With some risky side effects, of course. This could lead to a couple problems. My main guesses are of one of two things. Either, after 30 minutes, Chopper, loses control again and just becomes a rampaging monster, which then he'll need an ally to knock him out so that he's not hurting anyone anymore, or worse, himself. The second possibility, and we may not see this during Wano, we actually may see this a couple arcs down the road, is that these extended Rumble Balls might lead to a permanent effect. What I mean by permanent effect is, well, I'm on board with this theory that Chopper has already figured out how to awaken his Devil Fruit. We're not exactly sure how Devil Fruit awakening works, but we know that, at least in Zone type Devil Fruits, it turns you into a highly durable, near invincible, extremely physically strong, and pretty quiet, monstrous beast capable of taking on opponents that are way stronger than you should be able to handle, as we've seen with the Jailer Guards and Impel Down. The only difference is Chopper can still change back under circumstances. We've never seen the Jailer Beasts leave their, I wouldn't even call it a hybrid form, I would call it their awakened zone form. And Chopper looks very similar to that when in Monster Point. Perhaps because it's not truly awakened, Chopper still has the ability to change back. But maybe the side effect of these advanced Rumble Balls is that if Chopper takes too many, or, takes too many in one day, or however he uses them, this may lead to a permanent effect, turning him permanently into a monster. Now, this looks great on the outside, and I'm not worried about Chopper's personality from it because he's accepted being a monster if it means he can protect those that he loves. But this may be a difficult decision for him in a later arc. I don't think Chopper's going to suffer any massive side effects during Wano, but this is something to keep an eye on in the future. After this, we finally get that aforementioned transmission from Kaido, where the Marys launch a big old announcement across Onigashima, letting everyone know Straw Hat Luffy and the Kozuki Oden Samurai have all been defeated. You have the right to raise up your arms and surrender. You shall be added into the fold if you comply. To which, obviously, mostly Zoro and Sanji, no, they don't really take to that very well. We do get brief moments of, we see Frankie and the Shogun. We see Jinbei still fighting against Who's Who. We see Robin and Brooke posed, but we don't see how the fight's going for them. Tama's crying because obviously Luffy's been defeated. That's going to upset her. But it seems the Straw Hats overall are unfazed. This isn't the first time Luffy's lost. I mean, obviously, when Kaido first took him out at the start of Wano, we've seen Crocodile stab him. Rob Lucci made him drop to the ground before he stood up and beat the crap out of him. Luffy does go down, and that's actually one of his best qualities, because as the Rubber Man himself, Luffy always bounces back. The only thing that's got me worried is, aside from very few allies who don't really live near the shore of Wano exactly, I'm not sure who's going to pull Luffy out of the ocean this time. Unless I'm right about the Straw Hat Grand Fleet showing up just in time, there's not a lot of people left to go underwater and fish him out. And most people capable of doing such a thing are Devil Fruit users themselves. So, now, we know Luffy's going to live. It's just how Luffy's going to get out of the water. Is he going to wash up on shore like Big Mom, and then there's just an Onigashima that he has to get to somehow? I mean, okay, Gearforth can fly, so I guess it's not that big of a problem. And, to mention that earlier, Kaido was mocking a technique Luffy tried to use. What was that technique? Does it involve Conqueror's Haki? Does it involve Gear 5th? That's the part I want to know. Or is this a new form of Gear 4th? Personally, I hope it's a form of Gear 4th, because I think we haven't played with it enough to truly jump to Gear 5th yet. As this transmission is going on, however, we find out that one of the Marys has located Momonosuke, and Kaido is heading there as I speak. Worse for than that, Kanjuro also shows up, and in his guise of Kozuki Oden shows up and says, "Hey, son, it's me!" And fortunately for Momonosuke, Kinemon and Kiku have both shown up. They're trying to comfort him with his huge migraine going on, but they see right through this disguise. Kiku charges forward because, she's not going to mess up this time again, only to be cut down by the fake Kozuki Oden. Because when you see the face of a friend, you will hesitate. Unfortunately, this does lead to what seems to be Kiku's untimely end. I'm not sure if Kiku's going to get back from this injury, but if they do, that it'll be the will of K on top of the will of P. However, this is the moment that finally sets Kinemon over the top and finishes off Kanjuro in a single slash. And as the curtain falls on Kanjuro, he soliloquies one last time, telling his friend, "Hey, I performed this role beautifully. And if I had to die to someone, I'm glad it was you, because on stage or off, you were my best friend." I don't know if Kanjuro said that to hurt Kinemon or if he meant it. I personally hope he meant it. I hope Kanjuro, maybe his acting fooled me too, but I really hope Kanjuro isn't as evil as his bloodline demanded he be. I hope maybe there was just enough good left in him to do something. Maybe with his last breath, he'll do something to protect Kinemon from the wall being shattered next to them, Kaido marching on through, takes his Kanabo, and just slams Kinemon across the head. And that's where the chapter ends. I've heard a few things about Kabuki theater since I started reading the Wano arc, and how a lot of people are saying that it's going to follow the 5-act Kabuki theater structure, in which the 3rd act ends in great tragedy. Oda still hasn't ended the 3rd act, but with Luffy in the water, Kinemon struck down, Momonosuke is about to be captured, unless Yamato is strong enough to take on Kaido one-on-one, at least long enough for Luffy to get back up, if Kid doesn't defeat Big Mom, and Law doesn't catch up in time maybe to help him do so, the Straw Hats, we see them handling their fights, but we haven't seen any of them on the up-and-up advantage yet. The only one we've seen is Nami landing solid hits on Ulti, and I mean solid hits. But Ulti keeps getting back up. The dinosaurs are so durable. It's looking bad. And of course, this is the story of how Luffy becomes king of the pirates, but I'm getting... Okay, so, fun fact, my favorite arc is Whole Cake Island. Used to be Thriller Bark, because Thriller Bark is hilarious. But Wano is starting to beat Whole Cake Island because it's giving me the exact same vibes, just across all the Straw Hat crew and all their allies, rather than just Luffy and Sanji, where it's just oh crap moment after oh crap moment over and over again. You know things are supposed to turn out well, but someone's not making it out of this alive, and it's gonna be someone we like. But, as always, leaves me super excited for next week's chapter, so I hope you'll listen to my thoughts on that one too. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next episode. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.